My friend, have you ever noticed how some people never seem to chase money, and yet money follows them like a shadow follows the sun? Have you wondered why opportunities, blessings, and prosperity seem to fall into their hands, while others work themselves weary and still come up short? It is not luck, it is not chance, it is a law as unshakable as gravity. And today, I want to hand you a key so powerful, that once you use it, your life will never be the same again. Imagine standing still, no longer begging life to give you scraps, no longer running after bills, debts, and worries. Imagine instead money turning its face toward you, chasing you, finding you, surrounding you. The truth is, it doesn't begin with your wallet, it begins with your words. There is one line, one simple declaration that has the power to reverse the flow. Instead of you running after money, money begins running after you. Instead of you chasing, you attract. Instead of you pleading, you command. And when you speak this line with faith, life itself bends to make it real. And that one line is this: I am already supplied, and money cannot help but chase me. Say it, whisper it, let it sink into your heart, because when you declare that you are already supplied, you stop vibrating lack. You stop chasing, you stop begging. And in that moment, something shifts in the unseen world. Money, like a faithful servant, begins to look for you. It begins to move toward you, because your words are no longer calling it away. You see, most people do not realize that every word they speak is a command. They wake up saying, I never have enough, everything is expensive, money is so hard to earn. And life, like a mirror, reflects those very words back. They are literally programming poverty into their future without knowing it. But the one who stands in truth speaks differently. That person says, I live in abundance. My needs are already met. Money flows to me freely and easily. And the universe, obedient as always, rearranges itself to deliver. Think of it this way: the words you speak are seeds. If you plant seeds of scarcity, you harvest scarcity. If you plant seeds of fear, you harvest lack. But if you plant words of faith, words of abundance, words of certainty, then money, opportunities, and provision grow like a garden around you. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who struggled with money her entire life. Every month she worried about rent, groceries, and bills. One day she heard someone say, stop chasing, start declaring. So she began to say, I am supplied. Money is chasing me. At first, nothing seemed to change. But she kept saying it not as empty words, but as if they were already true. 2 weeks later, she received a check in the mail she had forgotten about. A month later, a friend connected her to a new job opportunity that doubled her income. Within a year, she was debt-free. She didn't beg. She didn't chase. She simply spoke the line until it became her reality. This is the law: words build worlds. Your mouth is the architect of your life. Every time you speak lack, you build walls of poverty around yourself. But when you speak abundance, you open doors that money cannot resist walking through. Now, some of you are asking, but how can saying one line change my bank account? And my answer is because your words change your vibration, and your vibration changes your life. Money is not just paper, it is energy. It responds to the frequency you live on. If you vibrate fear, money hides from you. If you vibrate trust, money seeks you out. Think of a magnet. A magnet does not chase nails, it pulls them. The nails come rushing to it because the magnet holds a natural force. You too are a magnet. But what you pull depends on what you believe and what you speak. If you say, I never get ahead, you magnetize struggle. If you say, money comes to me, you magnetize wealth. The line I gave you is the switch. It changes your polarity. It makes you magnetic to money. Say it now with me: I am already supplied, and money cannot help but chase me. Feel it. Don't just let it pass your lips. Let it sink into your bones. Imagine, as you say it, that money is already on its way to you. New opportunities, unexpected blessings, open doors, financial freedom. See it, feel it, own it. Because when you claim it in your words, it begins moving toward you in reality. I want to remind you, chasing is the language of fear. Attraction is the language of faith. When you chase, you say, I don't have. When you attract, you say, it's already mine. And life responds accordingly. Do you know why most people never see money chase them? Because they live in desperation instead of declaration. They live in fear instead of faith. They say, one day, I'll be rich. But one day never comes, because their words keep pushing abundance into the future. You must learn to speak as though it is already here. Say, I am rich now. I am supplied now. Money is chasing me now. And soon, the outer world aligns with your inner word. Let me give you another example. A man once told me he was drowning in debt. Creditors were calling, and he felt ashamed. He decided to try this law. Every day, instead of saying, I'm broke, he began to say, I am already supplied. Money is chasing me. At first, his mind laughed at him, but he kept speaking. Within weeks, he received a call from a former employer who owed him money. That one payment wiped out 2 months of bills. Soon after, he landed a contract that cleared his debt. He said to me later, the moment I stopped speaking lack and started speaking supply, everything shifted. This is what I want you to understand: money is not your master, it is your servant. But But a servant listens to commands. If you keep commanding it away with words of poverty, it will obey and stay far. If you command it to come, it will obey and come close. The line, I am already supplied, and money cannot help but chase me, is not just a phrase, it is a command, it is a decree, it is the truth calling your servant back to its rightful place. My friend, the day you stop running after money and begin declaring that it runs after you is the day you step into your true inheritance. You were never created to live in lack. You were never designed to beg life for scraps. You were made to live in overflow, to have more than enough, to be chased by blessings. That is the truth of your being. When you begin to declare, I am already supplied, and money cannot help but chase me, something begins to awaken inside of you. The vibration of fear that once clung to your chest loosens. The tightness in your heart begins to soften. Suddenly, instead of asking, how will I ever pay these bills? You begin to think, what blessing is already moving toward me? You shift from desperation to expectation. And expectation is the cradle where miracles are born. I want you to think about a farmer. When he places seeds in the soil, he does not run out every morning, digging them up crying, why haven't you grown yet? He trusts the process. He knows that if the seed is planted, the harvest is inevitable. Your words are the same. When you speak that one line with conviction, you are planting seeds of wealth. At first, you may not see anything. The soil may look empty. But underneath, the roots are forming, the life is pushing upward, the harvest is already on its way. And the one who trusts the unseen will soon see the abundance with their own eyes. The mistake so many people make is they speak one line of faith but then cancel it with 10 lines of fear. They say, money is chasing me, and then a moment later they sigh, I'll never make it, nothing ever works for me. My friend, the universe does not respond to your wish. It responds to your consistent command. A farmer does not plant corn one day and weeds the next. He plants corn every day, trusting the field to obey, and so it is with your words. You must speak abundance consistently, faithfully, without contradiction, until your life has no choice but to reflect it. Let me tell you another story. A man once worked in a small shop, barely earning enough to survive. Every day, he carried the weight of debt on his shoulders. Then one evening, he heard the secret of declaring supply. He began whispering every morning before opening his shop, I am already supplied, money is chasing me. At first, customers were few, but he didn't stop. He spoke it until his heart believed it. Slowly, things shifted. A new client placed a large order. A week later, another opportunity appeared. Within a year, his shop expanded, and he hired employees. What changed? Not his effort alone, but his words. His words aligned him with supply, and supply aligned itself with him. Now, hear me, money does not chase the desperate. It chases the certain. Money does not run toward those who beg. It runs toward those who declare. You must learn to speak as one who already owns what they desire. Not in arrogance, but in divine certainty. Speak as a king commands his kingdom, as a queen declares her reign. For when you speak with authority, life itself obeys. Say it again with me, I am already supplied, and money cannot help but chase me. Say it until the words no longer feel like strangers. Say it until your cells vibrate with it. Say it until every corner of your being knows it is true. Because the moment you believe it is the moment the doors of abundance swing wide. Think of the sun. The sun does not chase the earth. The earth revolves around it, pulled by its gravity. That is how your life should be with money. You are the center. You are the light. You are the force. And money, like the earth, cannot help but circle around you. But the only way this truth shines is when you step into your power and speak it into being. Do you know what happens when people stop chasing and start declaring? They begin to notice doors they never saw before. They recognize opportunities that were invisible in the fog of worry. They hear ideas whisper to them in the silence. They see connections appear like threads of destiny weaving together. This is not magic, it is alignment. When you stop vibrating lack, you start vibrating vision. And when you live in vision, life cannot help but bring provision. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine bills arriving, but instead of fear, you smile because you know money is already on its way. Imagine walking into a store, no longer checking your pockets with anxiety, but knowing supply is your companion.